Hey everybody, I'm saxophonist Patrick Bartley, and I'm extremely excited to finally announce and tell you about my new album, First Song. First Song is technically my first jazz album in the idiomatic sense of the word, and is the first album to feature my original music. It's also the first album to feature two of my best friends who happen to be some of the greatest musicians in the world. We're talking about the incredible bassist Russell Hall and the phenomenal drummer that, if you don't know him already, you will know now, Stefan Klein. Now, the first thing that people point out when I bring this album up to them is that there's no piano, there's no guitar, there's no chordal instrument. And there's actually a funny story behind that I think ties perfectly into what First Song is all about. The album is called First Song for various reasons. The first reason is actually quite simple, being that the first song is the title track to the album that was composed by our drummer Stefan Klein when we were in high school. As a matter of fact, every song on this album, except for one, is music we first started playing in high school. And that's actually why this album is so special to me. See, Russell, Stefan, and I actually met when we were in high school about 15 years ago. And I first met Stefan in what was called the Broward All-County Honors Jazz Band, which is basically like a regional band that was divided up into middle school and high school divisions that you could audition for. However, Stefan and I didn't really play together that much because we didn't go to the same high school, and we only kind of played like one song together in that band. However, Russell, on the other hand, I actually met him when he first came to America from Jamaica and came to my high school, the Dillard High School of the Arts. And back then, he didn't play any upright bass. He only played electric bass and trombone. Can you imagine that? I actually kind of want to hear that nowadays. So between 2009 and 2010, we would go to all the local jam sessions in town. We're talking from the great educational jam sessions that were set up by our mentors and teachers at the time, to the great community jam sessions that were in the scene that all the cats would show up to and play. We're talking about Gold Coast, Churchill's, our friends' houses. And of course, there was this cute little cafe called the Boomerang Cafe, which was actually the first time that the three of us got to play with each other on a regular basis. Even though we were all 16, 17 years old at the time, we could already feel that something was special about what we were doing. Because of the great guidance of our teachers and mentors, we knew about the tradition, we could swing, we could play standards, but we're also teenagers. You know, we were hungry to explore and go beyond what was expected of us. We wanted to play, and this was our space to do that. Now, of course, we were sloppy, we were reckless, and we were not perfect in any way. But that was the point. For us, this was the first and only opportunity for us to fall down and practice picking ourselves back up while we try to explore this new territory. However, the reason that we started playing trio was actually less of a choice and more of a result of circumstance. See, we originally wanted to make a quartet, and there were a lot of great chordal instrument players around us at the time. But the main issue that we had was that there were either incredible technicians who could kind of play anything, but were not as willing to go into the more free, exploratory, dynamic directions that we wanted to go in, or we had really incredible players who wanted to go in that direction and were down to be free, but we're not quite technically up to the level that could challenge us and that we wanted to be challenged at. So as a result, we just naturally defaulted to trio settings in most of our gigs. However, this also led us to exploring the new horizons of this open sound and how far we could push ourselves in this more unconventional territory. So the result of this was us playing our first weekly gigs at this place called Blue Jean Blues in South Florida, which, thanks to Russell and his mom, gave us our first chances as 16 and 17-year-olds to play consistently as a band. Now, we definitely got the youngins pay rate, which I won't disclose, but we weren't doing that gig to get paid. We did that gig because we were hungry for the music. We wanted to play. And we played all sorts of standards and styles, and I used the opportunity to write new songs just for that band. We continued playing this music. We got Zoom recordings of basically every gig, but unfortunately, things had to come to an end when I moved to New York for college in 2011. And Russell had one more year of high school left, and Stefan went to college in Jacksonville. So our last gig as a trio together will be in July 2011 at the Bottega Wine Bar in Coconut Creek, Florida. You know, all throughout my time in New York, in college and my professional career afterwards, I've had the opportunity to meet so many incredible musicians that have changed my life and have shaped my career to what it is today. And I have so many friends out there that have supported me this far and might even be watching this video right now, and I'll never stop being grateful for that. But throughout every gig, every amazing night, every hang, every type of opportunity, for 11 years, I would always periodically go back and listen to our old high school recordings and wish that we could have continued that band. I would listen back and think, man, I got better technique now, but I had so much more freedom back then. What happened? I would think these things. And I would dream every year of a return. But something was always holding me back from making that happen in some way. Then, of course, the pandemic happened, which affected all of us, and it caused me to move back to Florida because I couldn't afford to live in New York anymore. Things just were not making me very optimistic at the time, of course, to say the least. Until the grand realization dawned on me, and I said, wait, I'm in Florida. So check this out. I got a call from John Lumpkin to play the Jacksonville Jazz Festival in 2022, in May of 2022. I also learned that Russell would be playing at the same time with Emmett Cohen. And guess who was still living in Jacksonville? Stephon Klein. Okay, so let me tell you, the moment we got to play one song at the festival jam session, that final night, after thinking of what tune to play, we said, forget it. Let's play Impressions. And just, it was magic, man. I don't know any other word to describe that. And here we were, having played a single note together as a group in 11 years. And it felt like nothing changed at all. To say it was natural would be an understatement. But when you know, you just know. And when the tune was done, I immediately went up to them and said, in these exact words, it's time. We gotta record this band. We can't wait anymore. Like I was tired of letting this go unheard. And selfishly, I just wanted a reason to play with my friends again, man. These are my boys and the people I grew up playing with, playing music with in general. We went through all of this, all of that, thrived and struggled just to make it here today. There was nothing more special to me than to record this first special moment all of us created with each other. We needed to show the world our first song. So we recorded this album in one day. It's September 12th, 2022 at NFS Studios in Jacksonville, Florida. And it consists of 8 tracks, all original music. The main concept behind this album is showing our naive ideas about music that are rooted in this kind of perpetual innocence that we've had about it since childhood. Now, I'm gonna get a little personal about my thoughts about music today, but it's just to give you an idea of why I recorded the album in the way that I did, was because lately I often feel that so much of music that's being recorded today is almost too clean, too perfect, and it can sometimes give a dishonest presentation of what this music can be and is. Half of the tracks on this album are first takes, unedited. And that's not a flex. We aren't clean, right? And some of the parts aren't even played correctly. But even in the tracks where we did not do more than one take, we opted to use the first take because the vibe was just irreplaceable. We're a live band. We've always been a live band. And so I wanted to keep the spontaneous nature of our performance over the cleanest take. Because some of these moments, I'm not even sure how we did any of that. The song Rooms of Reverence is the only song that wasn't written when I was in high school and was actually something I thought of the day before the recording session. I got the idea from listening to Wynton Marsalis's Nosmo King, and I wanted to make a song like that. I kind of call it my dollar store Nosmo King. But I just sang it to the band when we were setting up, and after running through it once, we just did one take of it, and I left it. Didn't touch it. We didn't even catch the ending perfectly because we didn't even know when it would stop, but the vibe was just so good, I just left it. I didn't want to push it anymore. There's so much more I could say about First Song, but the main thing I want to say that is the most important thing about this album is that it's not just a reunion celebration, which it is, but it's also an homage and a dedication to everyone in our formative years who have made our dreams to be musicians into a reality. I'm talking Gold Coast Jazz Society, WDNA Miami, Dillard High School, Parkway Middle School, North Broward Prep, New World School of the Arts, All County, Mr. Gino, Mr. Dorsey, Mr. Mustafa, all of the great educators from across Broward and Miami-Dade, and of course, Gloria, Pam, Stefan Sr., my parents, and all of our incredible friends and family that have supported and pushed us from our humble beginnings, squeaking and making noise in the band room, all the way to playing all over the world and getting to come back right here to where we started, to continue our futures in the world of music. To say that we're eternally grateful would not begin to express our gratitude and my gratitude. Thank y'all so much for making this possible for us. This is First Song, and this is our story. And now you get to be a part of our story as well. We want to share this music around the world, and that's why we are doing an official worldwide release of First Song on December 12th, 2023. First on Bandcamp, and then of course shortly after all of the platforms worldwide. We went completely independent on this release, and not because we didn't want to go with the label, but just because the options that we were considering didn't coincide quite with our release schedule that we desired. And as a result, this is a completely self-funded project that's taken an immense amount of time, energy, and money to put together. Everything from the recording, mixing, mastering, and the artwork was done with help from some incredible friends and professionals in the industry. And that's not all. This video also serves as an official announcement that we are planning our First Song, First Tour. And this will be my first tour as a leader, and also this band's first tour together after playing together for the first time almost 15 years ago. However, full transparency, to say that I've all but exhausted my funds between moving to Japan and working on this album, among other things, would be an understatement. Touring is expensive and we want to do it right. But because we don't have any sponsorships, management, agency, or anything like that, we decided to create a GoFundMe page to help raise funds for our tour. So if you want to see us in your area, or if you like just to help us make future tours happen, any type of contribution, no matter the size, would be greatly appreciated and very helpful. Organizing even just a tour in the US is quite an undertaking that we can't do alone. And if we reach far enough into our goal, we can even look into making physical items such as CDs and vinyls and other things that we love to make for you all. And of course, there will be ways that supporters can get early access and discounts to these and various items in the future once they've been made possible. I should also mention that our Bandcamp will feature bonus material such as alternate takes, sheet music, and rare recordings from our formative years in the beginnings of our musical kinship as young aspiring musicians in South Florida. Patrons will get early access to this material as well. It's a really special set of content that you won't be able to get anywhere else, so keep an eye out for that. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching to the end of this video, and thank you all so much for supporting us this far to make the release of First Song possible. I really believe this album to be a special milestone for us in the band that we'll never forget. And I can't wait to share this music with y'all. I just can't wait. And of course, I'll be sharing more behind the scenes info with you before and after the release. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, everybody. I guess I'll see you all on release day. Be well and take care. Peace. Again, y'all sound killing. I'm struggling.